Dave, 3 goals, 3 points, back to winning ways. Must be chuffed with that.
Yeah, it's been a tough 3 weeks with the results and especially the performances, but credit to the staff and the players. We stay level-headed with everything, you know. We said from day one this season that there is going to be some tough times, and we can't just rip everything up because we've lost a couple of games. You know, we still work in the same way. We're still working hard behind the scenes to bring players in, and it can be frustrating at times in terms of doing a lot of work but getting nowhere with it. But when you see performances like that from Milliman and Jaheim as well in the previous games, you realise, look, the work you are doing going out of all these games it can benefit us. I thought that's one of the best performances I've seen this season from Milliman. He's a special player. He'll find out about pitches, away grounds, you know, in terms of what's in this league coming up, and that's where it'll be a challenge for him. But on the surface today, he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I know you said about, we'll come to Milliman in a minute, but I know you said about you weren't bothered about the performance today, it's just about getting the win, but you got the performance as well, which must be equally pleasing.
Yeah, that's the ideal scenario, isn't it? You want the performance and you want the win, and I thought from the first minute we were on it right across the pitch. I mean, Grantham are in a poor run of form, but we are as well, so we know there's a lack of confidence in there slightly, and fair play to them. The lads have got through that today, and you can get carried away, and we're only 2 or 3 wins away from people getting carried away looking up the table, and 2 or 3 losses from the other side of it. So let's stay level-headed with it. We are where we are for a reason, and I think it's probably a fair reflection of our season at the moment.
Yeah, we had to rub our eyes a bit. First half goal and early goal as well, which settles on the way.
Yeah, again, I can say we've emphasised it this week. We've emphasised it for weeks now, and last week we conceded after 10 seconds when you're trying to get a good start. It gives us a platform. We know at half time we're in a strong position if we're in the lead because of the pace and the counter-attacking opportunities that we get. The front four today, in terms of the pace and energy, it looked something else, and we try to keep Tongy back a little bit today. It just gives a bit more structure and say, look, let them get on with it. But because the 1v1s were so good by the front four, it gives Tongy a little bit more space to get shots off, and he must have had 6-7 shots in the game, and it's been a long time coming, his 10th goal, but double figures for a midfield is excellent for us.
Clean sheet as well, you must be really pleased. And the performance of Lloyd as well, as you said, he's had a difficult 24 hours, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing to come out of the day for me in terms of Lloyd. I thought to put performance in like that after getting the bad news that's come out of Matlock, he's very close with the player, so it was a very, very difficult day for him, and he's come through it. He was in tears before the game, and at one point I was thinking about pulling him out because I was worried about his state of mind, but fair play to him, and it puts things into perspective a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, he made a really good save early on, didn't he, as well? I mean, it's gone behind again, it would have been nervous, but he got that first save out of the way, and that must have made him feel a lot better.
Yeah, the first save was huge, and I just thought there was a bit of assurance with him in terms of coming for crosses, and communication was a big one with the back four, and that was a reason John was in there today as well, just to talk players through with it, because people like Brad, Jordan, excellent players, but they've held their hands up, they've had little dips in form, so hopefully that can turn it back round again. Tom Dean has done well, but he was unlucky to miss out today. Just you put Johnny, just steadies it a little bit. I brought him in the Bamba game when we won 4-1, when we hadn't won for a few games, and he just gives that little bit more steadies everyone down around him. But we know with John it's not the long-term solution. He's not going to play week in, week out. Yeah,
Illiman, NDI, a lot of people giving him man of the match. I actually gave it Ash Young because I thought he played an important role today, but he's not shy, is he Illiman, in the way he plays?
No, and the discussion before the game and at half-time, just give him the ball. Wherever you are on the pitch, Ash, Tonky, just give him the ball if he's in a tight area, because he's got the ability to go past players 1v1, and then the whole pitch opens up. The big thing for me was, and this is where we've done a lot of work watching him, he works hard off the ball as well, and he uses his body well. He's not just like a show-up who's going around and doing all these tricks and flicks. He's actually got a bit about him on the other side of the game as well. He's going to go far, but we've got until the end of the season, so it's a big signing for us, and hopefully we'll get more of that. I think he tired a little bit towards the end, but this is his first 90 minutes in men's football. Same with Chris Sutherland, credit to him as well. That's his first 60-70 minutes under his belt, and he doesn't look like he's really been aware with the pace and energy that he's got. So loads and loads of positives to come out with today. The biggest one was the result.
Excellent, yeah, as I say, stay in 11th place and go to Matlock next week. That's going to be obviously tough for various reasons, isn't it, now, after what's happened?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that game too much again. Things you put things in perspective with what's happened over there. So let's just go see how things go this week, and then we'll go down Saturday with hopefully put in some sort of performance. But I don't want to touch too much on what's going on there. Chris?
No, I think you've
Thank you. Cheers, Dave. Well done.
Cheers.
That's it.